when you look there, you can only help but feel a presence. And that presence invokes a sense of God.
Somebody higher that's just like making these like amazing things happen to me and just surrounding me, and even like right now, like where we are and stuff.
A world so gorgeous had to have been created by God. Being in nature brings me back to God and His wonder.
And I thought about this from a very personal standpoint too. I wanted the students to engage with this question in a very personal way. I thought maybe as an exercise, I would ask my students to, the very first day of class, to write a journal that would say, what does God look like when you pray? And, or if you don't believe in God, when you conceive of that, when you imagine God, what is that image? And then to talk about what kind of human being do you want to be based on that image.
There's not a consistent, vivid image of the Lord in my mind when I pray. However, it is dark, and sometimes I see God in a throne looking down to me, sort of like Zeus in Disney's Hercules. Sometimes when I close my eyes and reflect and pray, I see Jesus on the cross sacrificing Himself for us.
Even a lot of times there's no per se face of God that comes to mind, or image. Sometimes I think of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, or sometimes while meditating upon the crucifixion or something like that, of course I'll meditate upon the face of Christ on the cross. But there's no one image or one per se, face of God.
No, like if I would picture something, it's like somebody blurry floating around, basically like not something material or physical. Yeah, well, at least as of now, I still can't picture it.
I would say it's a different mode of awareness in that there's a lot of emotion, and there can be like a lot of feeling about myself and about like just whatever I'm praying about, such as like when I pray to the Father for wisdom or something like that. It's a different mode. It's like a different feeling or kind of emotions invoked.
And I mean, it's pretty weird. Like sometimes when I'm praying, and I don't do that often, which is, I feel like it's bad.
Sometimes I lose faith because I think that God is not listening or will answer my prayers.
Because I always feel like I'm praying when like I need something, and so I'm always like, oh well, He's probably gonna like not listen to me because I'm just here like when I need Him, and I'm just, oh yeah, and then He's probably just like, oh, it's this girl again. Hello, where have you been all these days? So yeah.
When you imagine God, what is that image? And then to talk about what kind of human being do you want to be based on that image.
What would Jesus do? These 4 simple words are what I aspire to live by every day. I want to live my life in love and have a strong relationship with God. I hope that my prayer life strengthens and that I can really see and hear God when I pray.
I basically said that I want to like accomplish whatever it is that I start, and especially like reaching my goals and the part where like you actually reach them. So that would be nice. I guess an accomplished person. Yeah.
I would say the framework of which I can only work off is those feelings that each form or each person in the Trinity kind of evokes in me. And based off of that, that's who I want to be. So with the Father, that sense of wisdom and sense of like kind of fear and awe and that kind of power. And then with the Son, that kind of intercessor, that kind of that motherly affection, that love, that care, and especially that involvement that we kind of feel that the Son kind of takes in our humanity and takes in our lives. And then especially with the Holy Spirit, kind of the source of which kind of like all graces flow into us. And so kind of like based off of each of those, I guess I'd want to be someone who is wise and mature and kind of respected, kind of that fear and awe from the Father, and that level of personable relationship that the Son kind of gives, that feeling of kind of love and attentiveness to each. And then especially a source of kind of like talent and help and growth to others. So in essence, I want to be a wise, knowing, understanding, loving, caring, and beneficial person in reality. I mean.
The final project that I want my students to do is to make a personal creed, one that would be based on their own image of God, that they kind of personally have, and compare that personal image of God, the one that they came into class with, compare that with the image of God that they are learning about as they read the text that we are going to be reading together, from Genesis all the way up to Vatican II and beyond, that they would be refining that image of God based on what's being communicated from those texts. And at the end, hopefully they would have an image that is more refined, more conscious, more personally integrated, comparing that with the previous, the one at the beginning.
When I am performing or singing beautiful music with the choir, be it sacred or non-sacred, I sometimes get this glorious feeling of happiness and this overwhelming sense of extreme peace and joy. This emotional experience is through the heartfelt music and performing. Even though God is not creating the music, it is Him who gave us the ways and the gifts to create it.
I don't know, it's just nice, and then it makes you like want to dance, and like it's just like a lot of sounds, and they're very particular, like all of them. So yeah, I mean, there's so much like nice music out there, and it's never the same thing.
You just kind of dwell upon the natural beauty of certain things, just the natural order and beauty that it has. It just really kind of strikes something inside of me that just, helps me find God. The top of a mountain, some vast stretch of the ocean or something.